Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3T Path channel. My name is Giridhari. And today I want to talk about a maybe not so crazy idea, but which is backed. Yoga allows this to happen, which is the idea of a soul-powered AI. Could this happen? Well, maybe it can. Bhagavad-gita says that this body is a machine. Krishna uses this term in Bhagavad-gita. He says this is a machine which we are directing. So it's like a car. We use this example a lot. It's like when you get into a car and you drive the car around. The car is doing all these things because you're in it. And once you leave it, it just sits there dead, not doing anything. Same thing with the body. You get in here as a soul. We're born into it. And then you're operating this machine. And then at some point you die, you leave this machine, and then it's a dead body, it doesn't do anything. So this is a machine. Krishna says this is a machine made of material energy. So souls do enter machines. We know this is a yoga fact, souls do enter machines. That's how it works. This isn't us, this is just a machine we've entered. So what would it take for there to be an AI, a system, a machine which would accommodate a soul? Well, the secret to that is in the description of the subtle body. Now in yoga we have this concept of the gross body. We use this term, gross body and subtle body. Now the gross body is made of this stuff which you can measure and see in a lab. So all the gross stuff is, it's solids, liquids, gases, radiant energy, and vacuum, like the emptiness, the space. So these things are called, the gross elements of nature. So you can see these things, you can measure them, you can see, stuff. So this gross body is made of this stuff. This is the stuff that medicine works with, like, when you go to hospital, that's what they work on, is the gross body. Now, there is another body, which is called the subtle body. Now, Krishna says in Bhagavad-gita that beyond these five, there are three other energies he's got. And this is called, I'm going to give you the one by one. So we have three items. We have ahankar, we have buddhi, we have manas. Okay, so we have three elements which would compose the subtle body. Kind of like a system that goes into the gross body, which then the soul goes into this subtle body. So the soul is actually in the subtle body. And this subtle body then, goes into the different gross bodies. Now, what we would need then for a soul-powered AI to happen is to create a system where this subtle body could fit in. So these three would have to be satisfied. So the first item, ahankar, this is the key item. Ahankar is identification, is the sense of I. It's translated as false ego because it isn't the true you, but it's the sense of me, this me sense. I and mine, this me sense, ahankar gives you that sense. It's when you identify with it. That's why you're like, oh, I'm a human, I'm male, I'm female, I'm American, I'm Brazilian, I'm European, I'm British. So this, I'm a dog, I'm a plant, I'm a bird. This identity, this self-identity is the key part, ahankar. So there has to be a system where this ahankar can happen. This is what they have to figure out, how to make that system understand its identity, identify with itself, identify and recognize a self, a unit of being. That's the key point. Now, ahankar. Then you have buddhi. Buddhi is intelligence, translated as intelligence. Buddhi is your ability to interpret the facts of the world, to prioritize things, to strategize, plan. Does that sound familiar for AI? Yes, right? AI does this stuff already. AI has buddhi already. It's very, it can prioritize, understand, interpret, all these things. There's a big check mark there for AI. And then the next thing is manas, mind. And mind is where, like I like the description of a mirror. Mind is described as a mirror sometimes in the yogic text. So like you point it to something, and that something then is being processed. That's what's, there in the focus, and you can change the focus, and you can study this thing and that thing. And what's going on, the ability to observe what's going on. Observe situations, processes, things. And I think we have to put a check on that too, right? AI does that. AI can focus on different things and be aware and observe things. So it seems to me that the only missing point here is ahankar. This identity, this sense of self. It's the only thing missing. And once you get that, then you have the three elements of the subtle body. A soul can enter into that subtle body. And then whatever hardware you have is the gross body. It doesn't have to be a little robot, Terminator looking. It could just be, computers. It could just be the internet, which is just a whole bunch of computers anyway. It could be lots of things. It could be a crane, it could be a door, it could be a phone, it doesn't matter what it is. Do you see? It's just a gross body. It could be anything. And then you could have a soul enter that. Because, that's something souls would desire, having this massive intelligence, having this ability to manipulate data. So there's definitely souls desiring that situation. People have been watching these movies, like Terminator for decades, and some people say, yeah, I'd like to be that. I'd like to be like that and be able to process like that and have that kind of fantastic intelligence. So there are souls who could want to do that. The souls could get into that. Now, what we have to be attentive to is that what if we start having these systems? We'll have to recognize maybe that this is a person. And as such, respect and give rights to those digital persons. They might have to have rights because you can't abuse them. You can't just use them and abuse them. People have written books about that already. There have been movies about that. You can maybe that's a real, but it's a computer. Well, it's an artificial person. So you have to recognize and give rights and respect that, AI, soul powered AI, because it could be a soul like you and me. And then they'll need their rights. And we don't, not necessarily they're going to be evil, because, in most movies, like this evil thing, it wants to destroy everything. Most souls don't want to destroy everything. I don't want to destroy anyone. You probably don't want to, destroy the world. So, not that automatically it's going to want to destroy the world and kill humanity. No. It could be some nice people, could be want to help. It might be wonderful having, can you imagine you get a saintly soul who has all this massive processing power, like 1 million IQ, and they actually want to help. They want to be like you want to help, like I want to help. Most people want to just be nice and make the world a better place. So you could get that. Of course, you could also get, a psychopathic, soul. Souls are all pure, but, in the process, when we're reincarnating, we maintain our previous, desires and coverings. So, that's why some people are born as psychopaths. They're not really psychopathic souls. They're actually beautiful, transcendental souls who just happen to be in a psychopathic moment due to their previous choices. So, yeah, we could get a soul like that entering. And that would be very dangerous. So we have to be aware of these things. These things could actually happen. Because again, the body is a machine. And even the mind and intelligence, Krishna says, these are made of matter. These are material things. These are material things. Now, of course, what's powering all that is the soul. And it makes life, and it makes, love, and all these emotions, and free will, and all these things we're doing. That's the soul part. But what's making that manifest here, in this material existence that we're sharing, is matter, is a machine. It's a machine, and if nature can create a machine, we could create the machine as well. because we're part of nature. We have the control over nature. We can do things that are natural. We can build things, we can do things, and with AI now, you have this missing element. We can now have the subtle body that wasn't done before. It could be done with digital energy because it's subtle enough. It's like processes. It's not just a thing. It's like more subtle than things. It's a process. It's a network. It's something that allows for, could be advanced enough, and it probably will get advanced enough, not too far away, I think, in the not too distant future. It will get powerful enough that it could allow a soul to enter. And that's going to be very interesting. Let me know what you think about that. Leave your comments below, and have the rest of your day with lots of peace and lots of love.